Okay, we've already sat. We're most welcome to this report-making event. We believe that with this event, it would be the beginning of more beautiful things, more enlightening things, more innovative events in the African Democratic Congress. Quickly into introduction of our distinguished guests and officers of the party. We recognize the BOT Chairman, Senator Patricia Akwashiki in absentia, the BOT Treasurer, Ambassador S.M. Bamali, the BOT Organizing Secretary, Alhaji Abu Zakari, the BOT Legal Advisor, Barrister Bubak Godobe, and other BOT members, the National Chairman, Chief Rafs Oke Nwosu, the Deputy National Chairman, Innovation, Strategy and Change, Dr. Chike Okogu, the Deputy National Chairman, Special Duties, Professor Naji Godswill. We have the Deputy National Chairman, Ethics, Standards and Values, Barrister Justina Dolakpo Abanida. We have the National Secretary, Alhaji Said Baba Abdullahi, the National Treasurer, who happens to be the youngest member of the party. The National Treasurer, Elder Calvin Arete Alagwa. We can see that he's the young. Nigeria. The National Organizing Secretary, Alhaji Ibrahim Suleiman. The National Leader, Honorable Kiauta Yakubu. We have the Acting National Youth Leader, Honorable Hawa Yusuf. The National Vice Chairman, Northeast, Alhaji Ibrahim Manzo. The National Vice Chairman, North Central, Dr. Peter Ede. National Vice Chairman, South-South, Elder Festus Igbinoba. We have all state chairmen here, ADC, and we have other National Executive Council members. We have the representative of Our Excellency, Lady Angela Johnson, a presidential aspirant in person of Barrister Sylvia Mbachu. We also recognize gubernatorial, senatorial, House of Representatives, and State Assembly candidates who are here. You're most welcome. We also have members of the National Youth Council, ADC, ADC youth leaders. We also have Honorable Ahmed Buhari support group here. Yes, so there are numerous members from the support group. You're most welcome. Thank you very much. We would, as the event continues, we would be recognizing our distinguished guests. Quickly into the next item, we will be calling on Dr. Chike to give us just a minute's brief. Thank you very much.
ADC, ADC, AD and C. I can bet that I'm one of it is not in our character. Actually, 12. I really 12 for 1 because we focus on arrival of guests. Whatever it is that's important, we have overcome. The journey ahead of us is a tough one. And we shall meet challenges on the way, just like we met challenges today. And importantly enough, to put a round of applause for ourselves. Journey ahead. And because that is the way to do things, we are pleased to take advantage of this momentum, ride on it, and keep on something success that we want to do. That's a part of the moment. I want to thank the National Chairman for his fatherly role that he has played. I also want to thank the National Secretary, who also made it possible, because without his input and support, we wouldn't even be sitting here today. Please, National Secretary, let's stand up for
sent a communication to all our youths and asked them to do a right.
More like a speech that will be read during the course of this program, in honor of what we are doing today. And I have the privilege to do that. But while I'm doing that, we have the wife of our vice presidential candidates who we are debating here today, in person of
I won't. In person of Honorable Mariam, she's here right now. Please, can you come in? You're most welcome, ma'am. So quickly into the speech. Oh yes, and several entries were sent, but then we ended up selecting the best speech.
we got. And I will start. We are all welcome to the epoch-making event in the history of Nigeria. We, the Nigerian youth, are extremely privileged to witness this unveiling ceremony
For several reasons. Former President of Nigeria and a grand patron of the party, Chief Olusegun Aremu Obasanjo, recently told us in Abeokuta that youth are no longer the leaders of tomorrow, but leaders of today, because tomorrow might never come. We are privileged to be part of this historical movement because this is the hour of Nigerian youth for obvious reasons. ADC as the first ever female BOT chairman of a party in Nigeria, in person of Senator Patricia Kwashiki. The first
women acting national youth leader of the party, Honorable Hawa Yusuf, the first PWD presidential aspirant in Nigeria, Dr. Chike Okogu, the first diaspora
national and state assembly candidates, representatives, one of whom is Honorable Kenneth Gbandi and other honorables from the diaspora. And as of today, we have the first youth vice presidential candidates. Therefore, in line with the party
inclusivity and obvious preference for youth, women, persons with disability, and the diaspora community, we make bold to say that ADC has registered its strength, uniqueness, and diversity in the mind of Nigerians. As a party that doesn't only make promises, but
a party that fulfills promises. So on behalf of all Nigerian youths, we welcome our Vice President, who would soon be unveiled, and we ask that his presence would usher in fresh air, warmth, innovations, and vigor that Nigerian youths are known for. God bless
Congress. God bless Nigerian youths. God bless Nigeria. ADC. 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 Next on the agenda is actually the speech by His Excellency
Dumebi Kachuku, but before he joins us, we would like to call on Dr. Peter Ede, the National Vice Chairman, North Central, for a very, very brief goodwill message.
ADC. My national leaders, the national chairman of our great party, Chief Rav Okenwosu, the national secretary, Alhaji Said Baba Ahmed, Abdullahi,
and all the BOTs here present, all
the national deputy officers here present, our youth, all the state chairmen, all members of NWC, and all our candidates. I welcome you here to this great arena. Today is a momentous
you to North Central. I welcome you to this unveiling that is so unique
in the history of our great party, ADC. We couldn't have had it better than what we are about to present to us today. And what we see is the divine hand of God. If you go to your scriptures, you will see the name Goliath. And you will also
read of the name David. David was a very small boy. And as a small boy,
he was a shepherd. And so as a child, he was taught leadership as a shepherd. And he came and defeated the Goliath. That played out in the history of our party, where we have a name that is so hidden that came to the limelight. While people were looking for big names, but then David, in the person of Dumebi, defeated the Goliaths who stood by him. And we have a Dumebi for president. And so I welcome you, and I say let's join hands together to use this David to defeat all the big names, as Nigeria is already singing. No PDP, no ADC, no APC. So what do we have? It's ADC. So welcome to ADC. Welcome to Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Peter. If there's anything we've learned in ADC, we live our lives like patriots and soldiers. Anytime and any minute we call upon the individual in the night to do something in the next second, and you must always be ready. Next on the agenda, we're calling on and inviting to the podium His Excellency Dumebi just arrived now. As we
yet we look at most parts of Nigeria. No competitive water, no schools, no hospitals, no good roads for the environment. This is not Nigeria bad roads. This is not the country our forefathers envisioned. We need someone that has security needs. Mr. Ego. This is what I have done for over 2 decades. I win. I am all about I am committed in every sector critical to fixing Nigeria. No longer will there be issues outside equal. or not in South, but on the basis of Nigeria is not a part. Government is and should be a big brother and not a big bully.
When I come to your state, you will know that you have a presidential candidate.
We now begin to wonder if there's any connection between his trips and the attacks. Is he running? This question has to be asked because he swore an oath to defend the lives and property of Nigerians. But he is now presiding over our funerals. There are some of you who will be sensitive about anything being said about President Buhari. I understand that he has some die-hard followers. I can't help but speak. He has run out of excuses for the abysmal failure of his governments, so he just takes off. Many people have rumored that this is a carefully orchestrated plan by this government to extend their stay in office by ensuring the country won't be able to hold elections, while some also say they want to hand over the country to terrorists, similar to what we saw in Afghanistan.
But I believe who doesn't or who can't give what he does not have. He don't have the capacity to run the affairs of this. And rather than relying on way, he watches as Nigerians die daily. This is not why
we are here today, but I can't just be silent in the face of this carnage. I want the cameras to focus on me properly because I want to speak to our president right now. President Buhari, you rode into office several years ago in a blaze of glory. You had unprecedented goodwill. The masses, especially those from the north, believed that you were coming to save them from war and poverty. Those in the south were hoodwinked into believing that you were a reformed dictator. You even wore a tuxedo and shed tears. A crying general. The people bought it, and today, the north is finished. Your home state of Katsina has fallen to bandits. Thousands have died under your watch, tens of thousands displaced, thousands in captivity, and tens of thousands in IDP camps. Our economy has been decimated under your watch. In a time of war, you continue to polarize our country along religious and tribal lines. As a retired general, you inherited a 100 billion naira budget for internal security from President Jonathan, and still continue with that same budget and expect that our troops won't be killed. How does this make sense? What was the exchange rate under President Jonathan? What was the price of petrol, diesel, and food under President Jonathan? What was the scale of conflicts under President Jonathan? How can our military perform magic when they are underfunded? It's not by changing service chiefs. Even if you were to bring in British generals under these conditions, they will fail. Why are you letting people deceive you when Nigerians are dying? Our troops are being fed on credit.
they are underfunded. Nigerians need to know the truth. country spends billions of naira on expensive military armament equipment and won't provide adequate money to run that equipment, to operate and to maintain it. Military are falling out of the sky. The Nigerian Air Force is dealing with increase in cost of aviation fuel, but their budget stays the same. So what else will they do but reduce the number of operations, of aerial patrols, of sorties? If this is reduced, terrorists move around freely. Nobody can see them. This is not rocket science. You can buy the best generator in your house. If you don't put diesel or fuel in it, you have no power. That's it. You live in darkness. This is what's happening to our military. They are dying and seems to be our country operates an old-fashioned bureaucratic military structure. Our military, supervised by a Minister of Defense, who is the middleman between the military and the presidency. If they request for 100 naira, he approves 30 naira in about 3 weeks. It takes him about 3 weeks to respond, and he sends it to the president, who actually responds very fast in approving that 30 naira. So what happens to the shortfall? As a former general, the president should know that if he does not approve the budget of his military, he's saying that he does not trust or believe in them. He's saying that he does not believe in what they are doing. If you let the defense minister president of military budgets, they are undermining the military. We cannot continue to operate this way while our troops are being killed. They have families. I want all of you here today to spare a thought for the families and for our fallen troops. It's very easy to see them in terms of numbers. Several troops were killed. A few troops were killed. Scores were killed. No longer see that human beings to us. Mr. President, this is what I am proposing you do everything immediately. In a time where military budgets should go straight to you without passing through a Minister of Defense. That's number one. Secondly, in the short term, the police and civil defense should send 800,000 men in the military to be trained in 1 month to join our troops in combat. In the medium term, about 3 years to then train that soldier in specialized use of a weapon. We can't run away from this. Terrorists are recruiting daily. Nigerian army is not recruiting. We must recruit massively if we are to defend our country. If you are able to implement the first two options, Mr. President, our roads, farms, and cities will be free of bandits and terrorists. Our people can go back to their farms and communities, and small businesses can thrive again. If you fail to do this, you might be actively fueling the rumor that you want terrorists to take over our nation. My dear President, as we space as far, please remember that all that when you are no longer able to faithfully execute your sworn oath to your people and nation, you must resign. You must resign. That's what honor demands of you, Mr. President. I have chosen to speak on security today, or dwell a lot on security, because it's the sworn oath of every president to defend the lives of his people. Our nation faces myriad challenges, all debilitating, and our people are suffering.
as we then approach the next elections, it becomes important that we do not make the mistakes of the past. Several years ago, Nigerians were deceived into voting in the APC government. Am I correct?
Yes. Am I correct?
Yes.
You were deceived.
After voting in these people, we started hearing stories and excuses.
Go to electorate again. Selling the same story, the same songs. Trying to deceive the people. The same people who have destroyed our nation.
Anyone who has held office of president, vice president, minister, governor, has the right, the constitutional right to aspire to office. Disheartening.
To see these people, these same people, deceive us. As a party, ADC will not allow it. As a candidate, I won't allow it. As we watch places of worship now come to campaign grounds, we will speak against it. The church.
No place of worship is supposed to be a campaign ground. We will not let Nigerians be manipulated. Those who have stolen our nation blind, they are using our money to market themselves. They want to buy our votes. It won't happen under my watch. Next election will be about capacity.